With a month to go until his sentencing in his New York criminal case, former President Donald Trump will take part in a virtual interview today. And caught on camera, the moment a bull jumped a fence at an Oregon rodeo, injuring several people. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Monday, June 10th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Taylor. Today, former President Donald Trump is scheduled for a pre-sentencing probation interview. In an unprecedented move, he'll take part in the interview virtually from his residence at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Usually these interviews take place in person. And in another unprecedented move, Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, will also be there for the virtual meeting after the judge in the case gave the okay. The former president was convicted last month on all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. He has denied any wrongdoing. Sentencing is set for July 11th. Trump was back on the 2024 campaign trail Sunday in Las Vegas, where thousands of his supporters came out for a rally despite the record heat wave impacting the area. At least 3 of his supporters had to be taken away by medical personnel as temperatures reached the triple digits. The rally came just days after President Joe Biden issued an executive order temporarily closing the U.S. southern border. Trump criticized the Biden administration's handling of the border.
This is the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been, no third world country has a border like that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to close that border tight as a drum, and we're going to let people come in, but only legally.
Reports indicate the Biden administration is considering a proposal to shield undocumented immigrants who are married to American citizens from deportation, though it has not yet been presented to President Biden for review. Meanwhile, the federal gun trial of the president's son, Hunter, picks back up today in Delaware. The trial is expected to wrap up this week. A key member of Israel's war cabinet has resigned. Benny Gantz, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's biggest political rival, has stepped down after Netanyahu failed to meet the deadline Gantz gave him to come up with a post-war plan to replace Hamas in Gaza by June 8th. In a speech Sunday, the retired Army general said it was a complex and painful decision.
Regrettably, Netanyahu is preventing us from advancing toward true victory, which is the justification for the ongoing and painful cost of war. That is why we are leaving the emergency government today, with a heavy heart but with full confidence.
Netanyahu issued a brief statement calling on Gantz not to, quote, abandon the campaign. Gantz's resignation was delayed by a day due to Israel's rescue of 4 hostages from Hamas captivity in Gaza. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry said at least 274 Palestinians were killed in the Israeli air and ground raid, and hundreds more were wounded. After his party suffered a major setback in the European Union Parliament's 4-day election, French President Emmanuel Macron made a surprise announcement Sunday, dissolving the lower house of France's parliament and calling French voters back to the polls in 3 weeks. Macron's move toward snap national elections came after his Renaissance Party was defeated by the far-right National Rally Party as part of the elections for the 720-seat EU Parliament. With the National Rally Party projected to receive around 32% of the votes, more than doubling that of Macron's party. In an address to the nation, Macron told French voters with dissolving the National Assembly, he has decided to give back to them the choice for the future of their country's parliament with a vote.
Un acte de confiance.
This decision is serious, a hard one, but it is above all an act of confidence. Confidence in you, my fellow citizens, in the capacity of the French people to make the fairest choice for themselves and for future generations. Confidence in our democracy so that the voice can be given to sovereign people. Nothing can be more Republican.
The legislative elections will take part over 2 rounds, the first on June 30th and the second on July 7th. That was the scene as a rodeo bull escaped from an arena in Oregon, injuring at least 4 people before wranglers captured it. The incident unfolded during the Sisters Rodeo Saturday night in front of a sold-out crowd. After hopping a fence, the bull charged through a concession area. The sheriff's office reported that several ambulances responded to the scene. 4 people were hospitalized, however, all have since been released. The rodeo continued Sunday with its final performance as planned. One of Apple's biggest events of the year kicks off today in California. And according to reports, the Worldwide Developers Conference will see Apple showcasing its advancements in artificial intelligence, which the tech company has reportedly dubbed Apple Intelligence. Specifically, Apple is expected to highlight AI upgrades to its Siri talking assistant. Reports have said Apple has held talks with OpenAI and Google to license their AI software. Apple is also slated to debut its latest operating systems for its devices. CEO Tim Cook is scheduled to deliver the keynote address. And remember, you can get alerted to our latest stories on AI by downloading the Straight Arrow News app and turning on notifications. Finally this morning, history was made on the tennis court over the weekend when Carlos Alcaraz won the French Open. With his victory on clay Sunday, the 21-year-old Spaniard became the youngest male player to win Grand Slam titles on all 3 different surfaces, and the 6th man overall to achieve that feat. He's also the first male player to win his first 3 Grand Slam titles on 3 different surfaces. Alcaraz won on grass at Wimbledon in 2023 and on the hard court at the U.S. Open in 2022. These are your top stories for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Lauren Taylor. Have a great day.